Alright, hello everybody. Thank you again for all the views on my video. I'm here again with another build video for this SNS and Dagger build. Now, just before I showed a little arena match and how this new build would play in arena. I've changed to this build because it does not. It helps deal with the bow passive, Devoted Shield, that everybody is using. It does not proc it once because you're completely abandoning weaken with the weaken chance. So as you can see, there's no thundercloud infusion or poison in the skill bar, so you will not be proccing their Devoted Shield that bow users have. It'll be a lot easier to kill people. It leans more into the SNS side while still having Cleaving Moonlight and Shadow Strike for movement that other tanks would not have. You still keep your invisibility, so you can set up pretty fun. Crossbow users will still kill themselves on you because you're running Stalwart Bastion and Counter Barrier. As you could see in one part of the video, that Expo Dagger user just deleted himself as soon as I popped these two passives, or these two skills. It's a very good build. It is based off let's see now, let me quickly pull it up. It is actually based off somebody else's PvP build, so it's DKRG's PvP build. So credit does go to him. It is not exactly the same build that he uses, but it's based off his. I just did some slight alterations, and the gear I use is very different from the gear he uses. So he's also got a very good SNS and Dagger build. You should go check it out. It's a lot more tanky than my one. He's running like 20k HP. I'm running 14. My max HP will end up being about 15k once I've got all my traits in. So still less than his, but this build will benefit from the bonus damage from Shadow Wolf set, and the masteries are a little different than what he takes. So you'll have a little bit more damage with the slight tweaks I've done to the build. Now I know I released a preview of a poison build that I made earlier. Now that build, I still have it. I haven't abandoned it. It's right here. Would use this, but because of Devoted Shield right now, this build isn't too good. So many bow users in this game. It's not worth running this until they nerf Devoted Shield. Until Weaken does not proc that shield, I don't think it's worth running any sort of Weaken, like a Poison or Thunderclouds, in a SNS and Dagger build, because we already are not meta. This build is it's an off-meta build. You know, you play it because no one else plays it. You're not the best at the game, but you know, playing Weaken right now with Devoted Shield active is just you're handicapping yourself in PvP. So right now, I'm not gonna release my poison build. It is right here. If you want to pause and take a quick look, I won't go too into depth with it, but today I'll be going over this build, which is based off of DKRG's build. Slightly different with more damage, that's all it is. But it's a very good build. So let's start off with the new gear compared to my last build. So the weapons are still the same. You're gonna run Carnix and Dark Slayers. You can, if you've got it, you can run Chernobog's SNS here. The Dex and you know, the one that puts sleep on people. It's always better. It's got more damage reduction, so it's always going to be better than this. So you could run that instead if you do have it. If you don't, Carnix is fine with Darkslayer daggers. The traits I run on them is hit chance, crit hit chance, and heavy attack chance on both. Okay. The stats I'm running is 50 strength, 40 dex, and 46 perception. Before I go into the armor pieces, I'm just going to quickly show you what my new stats are. So when you have your SNS out, your hit chance will be 744. It's a major increase from my last build. And when you got your daggers out, it's going to be 804. Now, this is a major buff you're receiving from compared to the last build I had. You're going to be hitting a lot more. You're going to be killing people a lot faster. You're going to be alive a lot longer as well. And not only that, it's because of the evasion. It's gone much higher, so we're completely like ignoring melee evasion. You're gonna avoid melee with your Q block. To be honest, you're not gonna pick fights with greatsword users. If you do, they're your biggest weakness in this game. So you're mainly going for those archers and, you know, mages, staff users. They're the ones who are you're gonna be tanky against, basically. You could take a little. I had an extra perk slot, so I just took magic endurance because I think mages can increase their hit chance by like 250 with high focus. It's like crazy. So more, I lean into more magic endurance rather than range endurance because this much range endurance I found is fine. When you're buffed, your evasion will be much higher. So you're running 2,200 magic endurance and 1,600 range endurance, as you can see when you're buffed, and you're going to be keeping that up most of the time because you're going to be spamming Cleaving Moonlight. You got this you know, strategic rush that procs it. You could just pop a roll, that'll proc it as well. Many different things, like any sort of movement skill will proc that, even your shadow step as well. Now that I've gone over the new stats that I've got, I will be going over the gear. So brand new headpiece that I'm using. I've ditched the other headpiece I had. I think it was Divine Justicier's helmet. Now I'm running the Heroic Hood of Resistance because it's got more hit chance and crit hit chance. These are really good stats because it's just flat stats rather than stat points. This right now in the state of the game, this is much more valuable. So I'm running ranged evasion, max health, and magic evasion on this. The cape is the same. I'm still running max health, skill resistance, and debuff duration on it. And that's the ancient tapestry mantle. The chest piece is still the Phantom Wolf tunic. I just I'm running now max health, magic evasion, and ranged evasion on it. The pants are max health, ranged evasion, and magic evasion. Phantom Wolf breeches. These two will give you the set bonus. Now the gloves, I changed them out from the Executioner gloves to these Heroic Grips of Resistance. Your attack speed will be a little bit less, but you won't notice it that much. These give flat magic evasion, so very good stat. And it also, once again, it gives you hit chance. Now the boots, it is really up to you. You can take boots that give you more hit chance, and you'll be rocking 900 hit chance if you take the cloth boots of resistance. But I chose to lean more a bit into crit hit chance just to make sure I have over 900 and close to 1,000. So I'm rocking 952 crit hit chance. These boots allow me to do that. They have a bind chance on them, so that's always good for your shadow step ability to make sure you hit that bind. To stop players from getting away from you. And on this I'm running max health, magic evasion, and ranged evasion. Sorry, I didn't say, but on the gloves I'm running ranged evasion, and magic endurance. Now the jewelry, pretty much the same. I've got my perks on them now. Not all of them, but most of them. So I've got max health on this, buff duration. I think you would take, let me take a look here, because I don't have the right perks still, but most of them are there. You wouldn't take stun chance. I have it right now. No point in this. But you could change it to, is this one? Skill damage boost. So you'd run skill damage boost, max health, and buff duration on your necklace. On your belt, you would run debuff duration, skill damage, resistance. Now at the top here, I wouldn't run max mana, I just have that right now. But I would run stun resistance, or mana regen. Either one of these. They're both good. This build does suffer from mana regen problems in PvP at times. So unless there's loads of Expo users hitting you, like you're evading Expo attacks, your mana will stay up. But if there's not, it might be useful to take mana regen. Let's see here. So now there's the Braces of the Primal King. Here I've got debuff duration and max health. I would not take silence resistance. I would change that out to skill damage resistance to be tankier. Or if this is too expensive, you can always go collision resistance. This is always good against greatsword users. I think most of their abilities are collision attacks, so either collision resistance or skill damage resistance, either one. Whatever one you find easier to get. The rings, I'm running buff duration, skill damage boost. Once again, you could run silence chance. I run it because the shadow step silences people. Or if you don't want to run it, once again, you could run mana regen. You could run weaken chance if you want, but like I said, you're not running weaken in this build. Maybe in the future, when they nerf Bo's devoted shield, you could switch into this, but mainly you're going to be running skill damage boost, buff duration, and probably mana regen on the Eldritch Ice Band. And the last ring is Amber Dimensional Band. This is pretty straightforward. Max health, skill damage boost. You wouldn't run health regen on it. I have it on there. I need to change it out. But you would run buff duration on it. So this is the one you would run. And that is all the gear that I've gone through now. Now we're going to take a quick look at the masteries. So as you could see, when you're in PvP, when you use your dagger abilities, you are going to have an 804 hit chance, but you are going to be running around with your sword and shield. So this is going to be the weapon you're going to have in your hand, because you're going to be having to block attacks, and you can only do this if you have this weapon in your hand while you're walking around. Now you got a 35% block chance while you're walking around. The reason for this is the mastery. So I'll go over the SNS masteries first, then the dagger ones. But the mastery you need to get for PvP, in PvE it's also useful. You're going to have to rush this perk here. So it's at the top, provoke and counter. This 8% boost to shield block chance, it's invaluable. You need it. So you're going to rush this. So the top tree, it's about 6 points in. Impregnable chance. Stance. After you get that, you're going to max the bottom tree. So I'm on my way to do that. I'm about, by here, I need 3 more points, and it's done. You'll get a cooldown speed, which is really useful, and all 3 of these are much better than these 3. So I would advise to, go up to impregnable stance, and then max the collision tree out afterwards. And in the dagger masteries, slightly different from DKRG's build, so I think he goes up here to Master of Evasion. You could do that, you'll be a lot more tanky, but you're going to be losing a lot of hit chance and damage. So what I've chosen to do, I go into the poison build, and I go up to just past Sorrowful Chance, up to here, just to get as much hit chance as I can out of this tree. I'll stop here, and then I will build, so stop on the poison tree up until the last hit chance perk, just before Shrewd Judgment. And then you would run Assassination up until Deep Grudge, and your last point would go into Shrewd Judgment. just to get that cooldown speed, so you could use your abilities more. So remember, up until the last hit chance perk in poison, and then assassination tree up until deep grudge, right? That is your masteries. The most important mastery, though, just remember, it is this impregnable stance. This is going to keep you alive longer, okay? Now, we're going to go over the skills. Similar skills to DKRG's build, but I made slight differences so that you could use this in arena, open world, anywhere without changing much out. So the block we're going to run is, once again, shield survival technique. This is going to keep you alive against greatsword users. They're going to be your biggest weakness. This is going to be a lifesaver, right? You could run the Dagger block. It is very good. Gives you invisibility. Gives you a poison throw afterwards. Very OP, but this is not the poison build. But if you wanted to, if you're good with your block rolls or dodge rolls, you could run that. But I would really advise running shield survival technique. It's one of the best block abilities in the game. Pretty much negates their whole rotation. It's a no-brainer to take this. The abilities I'm running is Cleaving Moonlight with I'll go over the skill specializations later. I'll just go over the skills. So Cleaving Moonlight, Shield Strike, Shadow Strike, Witty Strike. I'll go over why later. Shot at Victory, Annihilating Slash. Now this ability is just disgusting. Even without Queen Belendir's Blade, it's an amazing ability for PvP. Camouflage Cloak, you're taking Strategic Rush, Chain Hook, Stalwart Bastion, one of the best skills you have, Counter Barrier, and for your sustain, Immortal Pride. Passives you'll be running are Skillful Evasion, Resilient Mind, Aegis Shield, Impenetrable, Assassin's Instincts, Shadow Walker, Graceful Edge, and a new perk, Morale Boost. So you're gonna use Morale Boost to get your cooldowns off much faster. It lowers the cooldowns by 14%, and it helps you spam your abilities much more. Take a look here. I think it's actually stacks at 5.8%, up to like 3 times, depending on how many people you've pushed. You do it with this Strategic Rush. So when your abilities are on cooldown, you'd save this, hit somebody or hit 2 or 3 people, and lower the cooldowns on your abilities. You don't have to run this. I've found it works just as good if you run Gerard's Patience. So you could swap these out. You could swap out Gerard's Patience and Morale Boost whenever you see fit. In open worlds, Gerard Patience is probably better, just to get more CC resistance. For now, though, I'm running Morale Boost. But you could run Gerard's Patience. So we're going to go over the skill specializations now. Cleaving Moonlight, you're taking no weaken effects, remember. So you're only going to take the consecutive use with the attack speed boost on Cleaving Moonlight. On Shadow Strike, you're going to take skill distance increase. And the last one you're going to take on Camouflage Cloak is CC immunity. So once you've used it, if you come right out of invisibility again, nobody could CC you for 3 seconds. This is big. It allows you to start your damage rotation on people. You could, go ahead and spam your skills on people and get them killed before they could do anything to you. Especially useful if you're chasing a ranged user and a greatsword user is on your ass trying to stun you. They won't be able to if you just come out of invisibility. So this is very important. Now, most of your points, as you can see, is going into your sword and shield. This is mainly because of the current devoted shield meta, so, right now this is pretty much one of the most viable ways to play SNS Dagger. So on Piercing Strike, I'm taking, the cone, shield strike to piercing strike, for the AoE. Counter Barrier, you're going to take the cooldown reduction for Piercing Strike. And remember, you're just going to keep spamming this as much as you can. When people are hitting you, you'll kill them quite fast. On Strategic Rush, you're going to take the widen range and increase target effects. If you're running arenas, you can't take this off. There's only 3 targets. You could take this off and put it into something else, like you could increase your Immortal Pride health regen. That'll work. But in open world, you're gonna wanna keep this. So in guild versus guild, having max 8 targets is very good. But in arena, yeah, no point in running this. Just put it into something else, whatever you want to put it in. You could even put it in Stalwart Bastion for movement increase, whatever you like. But yeah, those are the 2 perks you would take on it. Chain Hook, you would take the skill distance increase. No brainer, increases the range by 3.7 meters. Very good, very valuable. Stalwart Bastion, so the one you have to have is focus the effect on yourself to make yourself more tanky. This movement speed one is optional. Like I said, if you're in open world, probably better to take something to support the guild a bit better. It's up to you. You can move things around as you play. Annihilating Slash, you need all 3 skill specializations here. The movement speed slow, as you could see in the PvP video just before I made this, it's big. You could use it on 3 people around you, even if you don't kill them. It sets your teammates up to chase them down, get them, kill them. Even you, after you come out of this, you could just follow them around. Your auto attack could kill them. Makes it harder for them to get away from you. You could take both of these as well, consecutive use, so you could pop it twice, and radius increase, so it's a bigger AoE. Even without Queen Belendir's Blade, this is a very good ability. If you get Queen Belendir's, hey, even better. You got an even stronger ability. Now, I went all over Stalwart Bastion already. So Witty Strike, this is a new ability that I started to use. This is because it gives you stamina per target. So this is actually a AoE, or not an AoE, but it can hit multiple targets, 3 targets in front of you in a 120-degree radius. Per target hit, you're gonna get 12 stamina. That's a lot of stamina. It'll allow you to get your block back, allow you to survive even longer. It's amazing. And because this has a mana problem, this class has a mana problem, it also gives you 210 mana per target you've hit. So if you're running out of mana, pop this Witty Strike. It does decent damage as well. You can kill people who have low health. Once again, consecutive use, just so you could use it twice. Any ability that has this consecutive use is always worth using. So give it a try. It's a very good ability. Immortal Pride, the one you're going to have to take is a defense increase, just to make yourself tankier. Health regen is always good, if you got the points. So if you don't want to take movement speed increase, you could take the health regen. It'll heal you even better. This is also, both of these are very good, but this defense increase is much better. It just makes you very tanky. So yeah, if you can get higher than 15k HP, do it. You'll be even tankier when you pop Immortal Pride. And it's a very good healing ability. Now, a shot at victory. In arenas and small scale, you're going to keep it as a shot at victory, and you're going to get these 2 abilities. In guild versus guild, you're going to want to take these off and put the AoE one on. Now, one thing about this in GVG, a lot of people don't know, is you can actually do an animation cut. Sorry about that. I got hiccups, but you could do an animation cancel on it. So if you use it normally, if you take a look, you're sort of stuck. I can't move, you see? Like, I had to wait until the animation was over. People could stun you in that little gap. It's very dangerous. Now, when you're using Annihilating Blade in open world, what you want to do right after the Annihilating Blade is press Q. It'll cancel that little delayed animation when you have your sword out, and people could come up to you and stun you, CC you, anything. You're going to want to press Q, it'll cancel it. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. You'll use it, and then press Q straight away. You won't be stuck in that awkward animation, and you'll be able to carry on playing as normal. That's a very good tip if you guys do run this in guild versus guild. Very useful. Now this build, there's no real rotation. There's very simple ones, like you'd shadow step on someone, you could pop an Annihilating Slash to slow them. You don't have a trip on this build. You can have one, you can run a trip. So instead of let's say you could change some abilities out here. You could take off Shield Rush in small scale. You could put Ankle Strike on, and if you do that, if you take Strategic Rush off, sorry, and you put Ankle Strike on, you could take the slow effect on Ankle Strike, and it'll make people even slower. And you could extend that slow with Annihilating Slash. So many things you could change out. You just got to make sure you level your abilities so they're actually good in PvP. But yeah, small combos like that, and then you would open up with Cleaving Moonlight. Like, hopefully you have Counter Barrier when you're doing it. Spam some Piercing Strike, a Shot at Victory or Annihilating Blade, whatever you want to do. This is more of a reactive class than somebody who goes up to someone and combos on them. But that's just this build, so you're more reactive than, you'll have less damage basically than compared to other Dagger users and stuff. But that's only for now. So once the bow gets nerfed, I will be releasing my poison build. This one does very high damage, but because of Devoted Shield right now, it's a little bit iffy. Not only that, the other PvP build video I released, it literally always procs Devoted Shield. It's kind of insane. So until that nerf happens, this build I showed you guys today, this will never proc Devoted Shield, and you'll still have very decent damage, as you can see on the PvP video just before this. Which thank you for watching. I'll link the quest log in the description. All this gear is much easier to get than my last build as well. It's just these two that are a little bit difficult. This is from Saradoma's Island. This is from Tyrant's Isle. All these you can craft. You can literally craft them with resistance medals that you get from bosses if you've been doing your bosses. If not, you could just buy the lithographs. If you've been playing, you can get a bit of Lucent. You can get the lithographs for the armor pieces. They're not that expensive. For example, let's take a look. I think the boots are quite cheap. Oh, the helmet is right here, 225. You should be able to get this. The gloves are 195. You could farm the mobs to try and get them, but the chance is pretty low. It's overworld bosses, so mobs, so it's a bit hard to get. And the boots are 150, so they're not that expensive. Very easy to get. If you've been playing the Halloween event, you'll get trade unlock stones if you want to use those. If you don't, you don't have to. But yeah, this is a much easier build to make and be effective in PvP until the nerfs for bow happen and tier 2 come out. But if you guys still want my poison build, let me know. I'll make another video on it, but just be warned, anything with weaken right now does proc that Devoted Shield from bow. The poison build procs it less than the Thunderclouds one, but proccing it even once is kind of an issue. So yeah, for now this is a very good build. This is what I'll be running at least for the foreseeable future. Thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, please just leave a comment below. And remember to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.